Welcome to Mission Control, everyone. I am your flight director, and today I'll be guiding you through this highly critical explainer of IAS 1, Presentation of Financial Statements. Now, for you Cambridge accounting students out there, let's be real. This isn't just another dry topic you can skim through. IAS 1 is quite literally the central navigation system that dictates how companies present their financial health to the entire world. It's the universal language of business. So today we're going to do something a little different. We are going to treat your exam paper exactly like a flight system that requires absolute perfect execution. So strap in, check your telemetry, and let's prepare for launch.
Okay, let's dive right into this high-stakes objective. Look at this quote from the Cambridge Principal Examiner. It warns us that this topic appears in every single examination series. You absolutely cannot bypass it. There's no alternate route here. To help us navigate this, we're going to monitor the progress of two virtual trainees, who, honestly, represent the traps a lot of us fall into. First, we have pilot Alex. Now, Alex burns precious time and fuel overcomplicating things, like spending 10 minutes stressing over a single depreciation calculation when the pressure is on. And then we have pilot Sam. Sam has a different issue. Sam risks total systemic breakdown by ignoring structural boundaries entirely. You know, doing things like failing to separate current from non-current liabilities. Our goal today is to help you completely avoid these critical errors so you can secure a perfect touchdown on exam day.
Here is our flight path for today, designed to map out the examiner's exact blueprint. We'll start with pre-launch telemetry, map our approach trajectory, handle propulsion engagement, run a live radar challenge, and finish up with our mission accomplished checklist.
Starting with Section 1, our pre-launch telemetry. This is where we figure out the specific cognitive parameters the syllabus is actually demanding from you.
Before we can even think about clearing the launch pad, successful candidates absolutely must demonstrate complete competence across three very distinct cognitive domains. The theoretical architecture of IAS 1 doesn't just ask if you can magically balance a sheet at the end of the day. It's way deeper than that. First, you need knowledge and understanding to know the exact unbending rules of a statement of financial position. Then, you need analysis to take a huge, messy pile of complex financial data and break it down into clean equity and liabilities. And finally, you need evaluation. This is the big one. You have to question assumptions, like the going concern concept, and actually justify your decisions with hard, undeniable evidence. Listen, if even one of these three thrusters is offline, you're just not going to reach orbit. It's that simple.
Let's move into Section 2, the approach trajectory. This is exactly where our theoretical frameworks meet the actual runway.
Pilot Alex, you need to pay very close attention to this next part, the method mark strategy. We've all been there, right? You encounter a ridiculously complex math problem on the paper. Panic sets in, and you burn all your exam time trying to force that final number to match up. But here is the secret. The Cambridge system actively rewards your processing. Examiners award method marks for correct, systematic processing. Think of it like this. If your final retained earnings calculation is slightly off because you had a wrong button on your calculator, but you showed the exact correct formula you used to get there, your trajectory is saved. Showing your clear step-by-step working is literally your safety net when those data calculations get overly complex. Do not leave your workings in your head.
So to actually maximize those method marks, you have to execute this standardized processing sequence every single time to clear orbit. Identify, apply, execute, verify, and finally present. And I really need you to listen closely to Step 5, presentation, because this right here is where Pilot Sam usually causes a systemic breakdown. The presentation of information in IAS 1 isn't a suggestion. It follows strict, rigid conventions. Proper headings, correct terminology, appropriate formats, clear annotations, these can never, ever be ignored. If you just throw a bunch of numbers on a page without cleanly separating your assets and liabilities into their proper structural boundaries, you are going to crash. It doesn't matter how accurate your math is if the examiner can't read your navigation map.
All right, moving to Section 3. But wait, I'm seeing warning lights flashing on the main HUD. Our crew has just hit a massive roadblock mid-paragraph. Both Alex and Sam are rapidly losing altitude because their evidence links are totally failing.
Okay, before we fire the secondary boosters and execute a fix to save this trajectory, we need to take a brief moment to optimize your own flight path. Make sure you are subscribed to Ace the Exams at Ace the Exams and have all those notifications turned on. Seriously, do it right now so you never miss critical mission updates and explainers, just like this one.
Okay, we are back, and I am overriding the console to inject a structural template.
Our pilots were relying on generic statements, and as you can see, that leads to immediate system failure. Instead, you must integrate a structured template for your written answers. We highly recommend PEEL, Point, Evidence, Explain, Link. Now, the source data from the principal examiner reports highlights a massive tactical advantage here. Candidates who link IAS 1 presentation rules to other topics, like, say, inventory evaluation or depreciation, achieve significantly higher marks. You simply cannot view IAS 1 in isolation. It's a core system, which means it is connected to the entire ship's grid. When you make a point, back it up with evidence from the scenario, explain the accounting principle, and link it back to the broader impact on the financial statements. System restored.
Section 4. Cadets, it is time to prepare for live audience tracking with our interactive viewer radar challenges. Let's test your data interpretation and system compliance under some real pressure.
Data interpretation skills are absolutely critical when dealing with IAS 1. In your real exams, you are going to face complex source graphs, huge data tables, and incredibly dense blocks of text. Imagine you have exactly 60 seconds on the clock to extract the right information. Say, you need to filter out totally irrelevant administrative expenses just to find the true cost of sales. You have to cut through all that noise and lock on to the core variables. This requires sharp analytical scanning. You need to treat every single table on that exam paper like a radar sweep, looking for the exact data points you need to feed into your standardized sequence. If you get distracted by the debris, you lose time.
Moving to Simulation 2. We are detecting debris based directly on real warnings from principal examiner reports. Your internal radar should be flashing bright red if you are doing any of these three things. 1. Using the wrong approach for a specific business context. 2. Forgetting strict formatting conventions, which, remember, is our pilot Sam's classic error. Or 3. Providing generic answers. Your task during any exam is to act as your own internal safety system. You have to identify exactly where your drafted answer might fall below these compliance standards before you finalize it. You have to catch your own errors before the examiner does. And that brings us to the ultimate examiner alert. Listen carefully. Generic answers will crash your flight. Period. Top-scoring candidates demonstrate true evaluative thinking. How? By questioning assumptions, considering completely different perspectives, and, most importantly, justifying their decisions with evidence that is specific to the scenario given in the paper. If your answer is so vague that it could apply to any generic company in the world, it is simply not good enough. You must lock your targeting computer onto the very specific context of the question in front of you. Name the business, use their numbers, reference their specific industry challenges.
Excellent work, everyone. Telemetry is showing all green. Both Pilot Alex and Pilot Sam have successfully course-corrected. They relied on process over panic and structure over chaos, confirming a completely successful full-mark touchdown sequence.
This brings us to our ultimate pre-flight question scan checklist, which perfectly utilizes the examiner's deconstruct, solve, and evaluate framework. Keep this in your head. Whenever you face an IAS 1 question, you identify the given information first. Next, you break that massive wall of text into logical, bite-sized steps. Then, you solve it systematically, remembering to show you're working to guarantee those method marks. After that, you check for reasonableness. Just take a step back and ask, does this final number actually make sense for this business? And finally, you evaluate by making strong, justified recommendations.
So the crucial takeaway here is to use this final compliance table as your ultimate safeguard. Before you submit your exam, before you put that pen down, run this quick diagnostic in your head. Have you met the standard for presentation with proper, rigid IAS 1 headings? Have you met the standard for analysis with incredibly clear working for every single calculation you made? And have you met the standard for evaluation by actually justifying your points with evidence specific to the given scenario? If you can confidently check all three of these boxes, your flight path is absolutely perfect. Mission accomplished, cadets. You now possess the exact blueprint required to master IAS 1, Presentation of Financial Statements. Before you log off and head out, make sure to subscribe to @AceTheExams. Enable that notification bell and drop a comment down below sharing your specific subject and tier so our mission control team can start prepping your very next flight plan. But as you power down your systems for today, I want to leave you with one final thought to ponder. If IAS 1 is truly the universal language of financial health, what exactly happens to the global economy when just a single massive company decides to slightly bend those formatting rules? Think about it.
Keep your systems checked, study hard, and I will see you in the next explainer.